12 years ago, they lit up the screen with undeniable chemistry, but no one imagined that spark would still be burning more than a decade later. What really happened between the elegant queen of K-dramas and the rising star who once called her his mentor? Why choose this moment, after years of silence, to finally confess what fans had long suspected? Behind every red carpet smile lies a story untold. And this one may change how you see them forever. Red Carpet Revealed, as we uncover the truth behind the 12-year love story that shocked the nation. When the confirmation finally came, it like thunder on a clear morning. A single statement from both agencies, identical wording, identical punctuation, dropped at 9 a.m. Actors Ha Ji-won and Chang Wook are currently developing a relationship built on long-time respect and friendship. In less than 4 minutes, the Korean entertainment outlet had pushed a breaking news banner. By 9:10, Ji-won-Chang Wook love story topped global trends. For fans who had followed them since their 2013 drama together, the news felt surreal. The whispers had lingered for years, resurfacing whenever they appeared at the same event, exchanged shy greetings, or mentioned each other in interviews. But confirmation? After 12 years of silence? It was the kind of twist that only dramas dared attempt. At the red carpet revealed newsroom, phones rang non-stop. Reporters from London to Los Angeles wanted comment, and translation teams raced to verify every line of the joint statement. On social media, disbelief turned into celebration. One fan wrote, "12 years of chemistry finally canon." Another posted a clip from their old press conference with a caption, "They were acting? Or confessing?" Still, under the cheering surface, questions multiplied. Why now? Why after more than a decade of denying, deflecting, and pretending? We began retracing the timeline. 2013, during production of their historical drama, Ha Ji-won was already a household name, a veteran known for her discipline and grace. Chang Wook, then in his mid-20s, was the rising newcomer whose intensity on screen caught every camera's eye. Their pairing was unexpected. She, respected senior with an unshakable reputation, his protege who called her sunbeam with genuine aura. Even back then, journalists noted the spark. The scene's footage showed laughter that seemed unscripted, glances that lingered too long for pure professionalism. Asked about it, Ha Ji-won laughed softly, saying, "He's just like a younger brother." Chang Wook smiled and added, "I learn a lot from her every day." When the drama wrapped, so did the speculation, at least publicly. Chang Wook enlisted for mandatory military service. Ha Ji-won turned to international projects. Years passed, yet the connection never fully vanished. During a 2016 fan meeting, to name his most inspiring co-star, Chang Wook hesitated before answering. "Someone who taught me what real focus means." The audience screamed her name before he could say it. By 2019, she attended the same film festival where his new movie premiered. They weren't photographed together, but reporters confirmed their seats were only 3 rows apart. Watchers called it coincidence, longtime fans called it fate. Fast forward to 2025. A global brand announced a campaign celebrating legendary pairings in K-drama history. The first featured duo, Ha Ji-won x Chang Wook. Insiders told us negotiations had taken months because both stars were cautious about reigniting old rumors. The shoot was supposed to be strictly professional. Didn't stay that way. Crew members described a reunion charged with nostalgia. Between takes, they talked quietly, laughing about the old days, finishing each other's sentences. One photographer said, "You could feel the years melt away." It wasn't flirting, it was recognition. When the ad premiered, chemistry once again stole the spotlight. Fans called it the sequel we waited a decade for. Neither star commented. Both vanished from public appearances for several weeks afterward. Then came an unplanned moment that shifted everything. During an awards ceremony that winter, Chang Wook presented a trophy while Ha Ji-won sat among nominees. As he read the winner's name, paused briefly, just long enough for viewers to notice the tremor in his voice. Cameras caught her reaction, a smile both nervous and proud. Within minutes, the clip went viral under the tag "The Look." Insiders say the agencies saw it coming. PR executive admitted to Red Carpet Revealed. "After that moment, we knew silence wouldn't hold. You can't choreograph authenticity forever." Rumors reignited fast. Entertainment talk shows dissected every old interview, searching for hidden hints. Gossip columns speculated about secret anniversaries. And then, in late March, paparazzi published photos of the pair dining at a small restaurant in Hanam-dong. The setting looked intimate but not clandestine. They seemed unconcerned about being seen. Within hours, both agencies' PR teams huddled for crisis meetings. Crisis was their word, not ours. For the public, it was a fairy tale. For corporate handlers, it was a logistical nightmare: brand contracts, endorsement overlaps, risk assessments. But by dawn, the decision was made: confirm rather than deny. That confirmation, ironically, turned what could have been a scandal into a love story. Public sentiment was overwhelmingly positive. Fans across generations applauded their courage. Many saw in Ha Ji-won the embodiment of timeless grace, and in Chang Wook the rare younger man who valued depth over image. Editorials called their admission a victory over the industry's obsession with perfection. Still, conservative corners of the internet questioned the age gap, 12 years. Commentators debated whether the entertainment world was truly ready to embrace such relationships without judgment. One cultural critic wrote, "In Korea, seniority defines respect. Their love challenges that hierarchy." Behind the headlines, sources close to both stars painted a quieter picture. According to one longtime friend, they weren't hiding out of shame. They just wanted something that belonged only to them. When Red Carpet revealed requested an interview, their side agreed. But their team sent context. A representative explained. They decided to speak up because rumors had grown louder than reality. After 12 years, they wanted to tell their own story before others did. Privately, colleagues described the emotional toll of secrecy. During promotional tours, they had to dodge personal questions repeatedly. A stylist recalled. Every time reporters asked about dating, she'd give that polite smile. You could tell it hurt to lie. Now that truth was out, the relief showed. First public appearance post-confirmation came at a charity gala benefiting children's education. Walking side by side, radiated calm. Reporters noted no holding hands, no overt displays, only the easy rapport of people long familiar with each other's rhythm. When asked how they felt about fans' reactions, Ji-won replied simply, "Grateful, and surprised that kindness can still trend." Chang Wook added, "We didn't plan timing, it just became impossible not to be honest." Industry response was swift. Brands previously nervous about image risks shifted tone. Luxury watch company announced them as ambassadors. Their partnership as timeless connection. Analysts noted the clever pivot: what once might have been scandal now sold authenticity. Yet even as endorsements flourished, some insiders whispered about internal friction. Agency staff leaked that certain executives worried about emotional distraction affecting projects. Others insisted it was the best publicity both had received in years. In our conversations with veteran producers, remark stood out: K-drama thrives on fantasy. But audiences are maturing. They don't want fairy tales anymore, they want proof that real feelings can survive fame. That, perhaps, explained why The Confession resonated globally. To millions who'd grown up watching them, was more than romance, it was closure. Validation that chemistry once seen on screen wasn't just fiction. By mid-April, international media picked up the story. Japanese tabloids labeled them the eternal couple. And entertainment sites called it Korea's most elegant love story. Hashtags multiplied, memes blossomed, and old clips resurfaced with new meaning. Every smile, every glance from 2013 was reinterpreted as foreshadowing. But amid the frenzy, Red Carpet revealed noticed something subtler: a deliberate restraint. Despite the confirmation, neither posted couple photos or gushy messages. They kept digital distance. One insider explained. They promised each other privacy even in honesty. Confession wasn't an invitation to spectacle. Decision won quiet admiration from peers. A younger actor posted. They prove you can be public without being performative. Still, the story refused to settle. As fan clubs organized celebration projects, rival gossip channels began hinting at unseen tensions. Screenshots of alleged arguments circulated. Debunked but effective enough to stir anxiety. As a reminder that transparency invites new scrutiny. By early May, both stars withdrew again, not hiding, but resetting. Chang Wook traveled abroad for filming. Ha Ji-won took time off to paint. an old hobby she rarely shared. Absence made headlines all over again. Are they on a break? We reached out for verification. Their agencies offered identical one-liners. They remain in good standing and ask for understanding. 12 years of unspoken affection. Months of chaotic fame, and now a deliberate pause. In a sense, the cycle had come full circle, once again. Silence surrounded them. But this silence felt different, chosen, not enforced. Longtime friends summarized it best: 4 years. They were told love had to be hidden. Now they're learning how to protect it in daylight. When the cameras finally dimmed after the press storm, Jin sat alone in her dressing room, still in the silver gown she had worn for the charity gala. The applause was gone, replaced by the soft buzz of fluorescent lights. Her phone vibrated with endless notifications, congratulations from friends, sponsorship proposals from brands eager to borrow her authenticity, and of course, the flood of speculative headlines. The headline was the same story rewritten 100 ways. I'd confessed, yes, but the world was not done with him. Chang Wook was on another continent, filming in Prague. His own feed glowed with praise and caution: courageous, unprecedented, career-risking. Replied to none of it. A message from Hannah sat unread at the top of his screen: take a walk somewhere quiet. The air helps. For a relationship that had survived 12 years of silence, distance was nothing new. What was new was the weight of visibility. Before, their love had existed in stolen minutes, a quick coffee between schedules, a handwritten note hidden in a book left at her studio, an exchanged glance on stage. Now every movement carried the scrutiny of a million eyes. The entertainment economy had shifted overnight. Publicists called their relationship a cultural event. Marketing teams pitched concepts like ages art and love beyond labels. But inside their circles, caution reigned. Senior producer confided to Red Carpet revealed. Poetic, but dangerous. They're changing a rule nobody wanted to admit existed. Indeed, the rule was unspoken yet absolute: leading men could date younger, never older. Actresses must remain ethereal and unattached. By confirming their bond, Hannah Jin and Chang Wook had rewritten more than their own narrative. They had forced an industry built on fantasy to confront reality. Still, not all reactions were kind. Online panels debated morality disguised as concern. Phrases like "she should act her age" and "he'll regret the imbalance" trended briefly before a counter-movement swept them away. Fans began posting side-by-side photos, her steady gaze beside his shy smile. Captions reading "balance looks like this." It all, Red Carpet revealed, continued tracing the quiet story underneath. We learned that the confession had not been spontaneous. According to a source within Hannah Jin's agency, the decision crystallized during a late-night phone call 2 weeks before the restaurant sighting that ignited speculation. They realized they were done lying, the source said. To the world, to themselves. That call, by all accounts, lasted 3 hours. When it ended, both knew they could no longer pretend their connection was a rumor. They also knew what would follow: scrutiny, negotiated contracts, and endless questions disguised as support. But as Hannah told a close friend, silence is safe until it becomes a cage. Chang Wook, the cage had already started to rust. On set, every interviewer asked about romance rumors. He deflected politely until one morning, through a coffee shop scene, he froze. Members recalled his hands trembling slightly before he said, "I'm tired of being edited." That afternoon he called his manager and said, "Do what you need to, I'm telling the truth." The announcement followed 3 days later. Its timing was blamed on leaks. Insiders insist it was deliberate, a coordinated strike of honesty before tabloids could twist the narrative. Consequences were immediate. One cosmetics brand quietly withdrew an offer citing target market mismatch. Another expanded its contract overnight, claiming the campaign timeless. Both moves revealed the same truth: authenticity sells, even when corporations pretend it doesn't. Behind the commercial tremors lay something far deeper: a cultural reckoning. Universities hosted panels about gender and longevity in celebrity culture. Columnists debated whether the age gap mattered at all when both were adults long in control of their careers. Younger actors started speaking openly about dating older partners. What had begun as a confession was turning into a conversation. Still, the couple themselves retreated. After the gala, Hannah vanished from Seoul's social circuit. Friends said she spent weeks painting at her countryside home, unreachable except to one person: Chang Wook. Communication remained sparse but tender. A colleague who saw one of her new paintings described it, two figures standing apart on a bridge, reaching out. You can't tell if they'll touch? Chang Wook returned from Europe in June. Port photographers expected spectacle, instead they found quiet resolve. He bowed once, smiled faintly, and said only, "Thank you for waiting." It was unclear whether he meant the media or her. When the pair finally reappeared together, it was not for a drama or endorsement but a charity event supporting mental health awareness in the arts. They spoke on separate panels yet referenced each other with warmth. Hannah told the audience, "Healing means learning to stand beside what frightens you." Minutes later, when asked about emotional endurance, Chang Wook replied, "Someone taught me that courage isn't loud. It's consistent." The hall caught the echo even if they never said names. Internet erupted again. But the tone had changed. Time there was no disbelief, only admiration. Editorials hailed them as proof that time can be graceful. A veteran critic wrote, "They've turned confession into an art form, measured, unafraid." Privately, their lives adjusted to a new rhythm. For once, there were no disguises. They dined in public, visited bookstores, and occasionally posed for fans' selfies. Their openness diffused curiosity. As one follower posted, "Mystery replaced by maturity, I'll take it." Still, the pair remained aware that fame forgets kindness quickly. In an email interview with Red Carpet revealed, Jin reflected, "People call us brave. Bravery is just exhaustion wearing lipstick. We were too tired to hide." Asked what frightened her most, she replied, "That honesty might become another performance." Chang Wook, rich through his management, showed the sentiment, "Transparency is heavier than secrets. At least secrets you can fold away." Her candor reignited debate over the burden of truth in celebrity culture. Was the public entitled to know, or merely curious? Sociologists we interviewed called the couple's openness a boundary test. Dr. Kim Hyuna of Yonsei University noted, "Redefined what private means for people whose lives are public property. But even revolutions need rest." By late summer, both announced a brief hiatus, no projects, no press. Instead, they co-founded a small scholarship fund for aspiring actors who had left the industry due to burnout. Foundation's name, Project Bridge, mirrored the imagery in Hannah's painting. Its first press release included a quote jointly signed by both. "Art taught us to pretend. Life taught us to stop." The message resonated across generations. Fans donated, companies contributed, and within months the fund reached national coverage. Some cynics called it image rehabilitation. Saw sincerity. Either way, it worked. The narrative had shifted from scandal to substance. When Red Carpet revealed visited the foundation's inaugural workshop, Hannah Jin was teaching posture to a group of nervous teens. Wu watched from the back, unnoticed until one student exclaimed, "Is that him?" He smiled, pressed a finger to his lips, and whispered, "Focus on her, not me." Gesture summed up their story better than any headline could. Later, a final twist arrived, not a scandal, but an invitation. A major director announced a film titled 12 Winters, inspired by a love that matured in silence. The leads, Hannah Jin and Chang Wook. The script, insiders said, are their real journey with poetic distance. They accepted immediately. On one condition, no romantic marketing, no gimmicks. We'll let the story speak, Hannah told producers. Filming began in autumn. Crew members described an atmosphere of serenity. Between takes they sat together, reading or sharing quiet jokes. One cameraman said, "You could feel history in the way they looked at each other, not nostalgia, just recognition." When 12 Winters premiered the following spring, it wasn't the blockbuster studios expected. It was gentle, slow, full of pauses, like their real love. Critics praised its restraint, audiences called it healing. At the closing credits, a dedication appeared, for everyone who waited to be understood. Backstage at the premiere, Red Carpet revealed caught a rare candid moment. Hannah leaned toward Chang Wook and whispered something. He laughed, eyes bright with the same youthful awe from 12 years earlier. Neither noticed the cameras. Once, the lens captured without intruding. Next morning, a headline in Seoul Herald read, "They didn't prove love, they practiced it." It became the quote of the year. Looking back, the path from secrecy to serenity seemed inevitable, but it wasn't. It required risk, the kind that strips away glamour and leaves only truth. in the glossy world of entertainment. Truth is rarer than fame itself. As our editorial closed this investigation, one final email arrived from an anonymous address. The message contained no attachment, only a line of text. Tell them we're finally breathing. We did. And maybe that's the quiet revolution Hannah Jin and Chang Wook achieved, not in declarations or hashtags, but in reminding a breathless industry that love, like art, only matters when it's allowed to inhale. Some stories begin with a spark, others endure in silence until the world is ready to listen. Hannah Jin and Chang Wook's journey reminded us that love, honesty, and courage can outlast even the brightest spotlight. Reader who follow this feature, thank you for choosing depth over noise, truth over rumor. Here at Red Carpet Revealed, I believe the most beautiful confessions aren't shouted, they're shared with sincerity. Until our next revelation. Red Carpet Revealed.